when I jumped on my hunter earlier this week, I was like, I'm going to put this build together. I've been watching these builds. I'm gonna do this void build and have tethers and I have 100% intellect and just go to town. Pulled out my hunter. He's got no builds. He also didn't have any Orpheus rigs, and I'm like, I swear I owned 2 of those at one point. Why have I deleted them? And I was trying to think back. I was like, did I have them that were like low 40s and 50s? And I was probably like, probably what happened. So then I had to go to Rahul and go, Rahul, here's an engram. I want some Orpheus rigs. And then he went, yeah, I can do that for you. Handed it over and then realised that I'd used 2 Ascendant golf balls on it as well. I was like, oh, now I can't max it out and infuse because I'm now golf ball poor as well. So
yep. Got all of one thing. Now you need something completely different.
Yeah, these builds have made me very poor.
Yep. Sounds like a respawn going. I've got 18 builds for everything, and now I can't afford anything. Yeah, well, that's what happens.
Speaking of respawn, I think he's had his allotted 20 minutes of should we wait for him? So let's just kick off the show.
Sounds good.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So, welcome to the show this week. We are respawn-less, so you just have Peroty and myself. We are glad that you're here to listen to us, because we are not going to spend 6 hours moaning that the raid race is going to be 3 days after the Final Shape releases, because we are going to praise Bungie and thank them for all they have done. Aren't we, Peroty?
Oh, so you're saying I should scrub the 8 hours of moaning we had planned to do instead of 6?
Well, we'll leave that up to Respawn. Not that he probably cares, but yeah.
No. There's been more than enough moaning to go around.
So yeah, we're talking about the TWAB. We'll kick off with the TWAB this week, shall we? So this is the 18th of April, and the Final Shapes raid release is going to be on June 7th, 3 days after the actual Final Shape releases. And literally, they've put in the TWAB, save the date, the Final Shape raid, after the launch of the Final Shape on the 4th of June. Guardians won't have to wait long to tackle the raid. It'll be released on June 7th at 10 a.m. PT. So gather your fire team, gear up and get ready. And those 2 lines have inspired so many podcasts to rant, so many videos, so many TikToks. I've seen so many people complaining that they've only got 3 days and they're going to have to be a goblin or a gremlin and kind of just level up. And I think they're kind of forgetting with the last 2 expansions, when you were kind of leveling up, you play through the legendary campaign, they gave you all the gear that you needed to be ready for the raid. Now, if you do the legendary campaign, I mean, you've got 3 days. 3 days to do a campaign it's not going to be a 3-day campaign, and you'll be ready to tackle the raid. So what are you complaining about? And then about a week and a bit later, we get the new episodes, and I think it's Echoes, isn't it, the first one that's coming? Indeed. So when I listened to Fireteam Chat, because they're back again this week, we had the Last Word podcast and the DCP podcast, and various different takes on it. You know, not everybody was moaning, but it was just interesting to see everybody's different take on it and what they were speculating about. You know, why is it's pushed up to 3 days, and previously we've had 10 days to kind of gear up for it. And is there going to be something like with the Forsaken? Is it going to be like you do the campaign, you do the raid, and it opens up something else? It probably does. It probably opens up more of the Pale Heart, to be honest, and more aspects and fragments for your prismatic subclass. And, you know, I think it's a good thing, because if you look at it now, with just as a casual player, I have got so much to do, and we've only got like 6 weeks. We're talking 6 weeks now, and it's moved up on us so quickly, and we've got so less weeks to kind of get into Onslaught and do the Onslaught stuff. And then we've got the Pantheon stuff coming in a couple of weeks. We've also got an Iron Banner in there if you want to kind of grind out for Iron Banner. And I'm just kind of, I know I said it a couple of months back that I was kind of panicking that I haven't got everything kind of done before it goes away. But, you know, I look on the director and I'm like, well, I've still got to go to Helm and I've still got to kind of do some more stuff for the Defiant Battlegrounds. I've still got to do more stuff for the deep dive stuff. I've also still got to do stuff for Riven to Layer that I'm missing on doing the Triumphs, because every time something else comes up, I'm like, oh, shiny thing, I'll go over there. Oh, shiny thing, I'll go over there and do that. And I'm like, I spent so much time in Onslaught this week, and that's all I've kind of done is just go Onslaught, watch some build videos, use the build videos, go to Onslaught. So yeah, I mean, I'm quite excited that, you know, we get the final shape, we get a raid, and then we're going to get more stuff the week after. I mean, I've got faith in Bungie now that they've kind of listened to the community, and now they've kind of got the gears going of, you know, this is how we kind of keep people engaged, you know, not having to kind of force them to kind of come back, but there will be something there for everybody. What do you reckon, Peroty?
I mean, I'm right there with you, and honestly, I'm happy to see the speed and the turnaround. And I was looking online this week, and Destiny 2 team has retweeted Kat, I'll say Machado. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, hopefully not. Who is let me go look what she is at Bungie. She is the project lead for the Destiny 2 expansions, and was just saying, this was late, Friday. She said, "Hey everyone, just want to talk about the final shape. Why the final shape raid is going live shortly after the release on June 7th. We know this is a tight turnaround. I wanted to share some context of why we made the decision. So back in August, we said that finishing this campaign would not be the grand finale of the Light and Dark saga. You'll be facing off the Witness in the raid. For the non-raiders, there will be an opportunity for everyone to participate in the conclusion sometime after the raid. The final shape expansion is different. The additional content in the Pale Heart post-campaign and unlocking the raid for everyone is important for getting a cohesive and satisfying story experience. We're looking at raiders to be the tip of that spear. When raid day arrives, no matter if you choose to go into contest mode for the first 48 hours or wait for normal mode to unlock, in order to experience the story linearly as intended, you'll need to have this campaign completed and finish the quest wildcard. So prioritize those, do your campaign, and your wildcard quest. And then the episode Echo story, the beginning of the next journey, starts in week 2.
Yeah.
So so there, quick.
Yeah.
There was this delay, there was this wait, things seem a little slow. There's just Onslaught and the, new story missions to hold us over. And then they're going to smack you over the head with tons of content. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm with you. I have so much stuff that I'm looking at doing and going, I probably should go do some of this. I probably should try to knock these things out, or I can just let it go. I can just let it go and say, you know what, I've done what I can do, and this is what it's going to be. But I appreciate the clarity on, hey, sort of here's why we decided to do this. Story, satisfying answer or not. It's just, hey, here's what we're doing. We're throwing you into it. Yeah, there isn't a big level grind increase. It's not like we're going to 1895 and have 3 days to get from 10 to 95 and get there. You're already 1810. You've been 1810. If you're day one rating, you're ready to go. You're playing the campaign because you need to understand what mechanics might I be looking at. Because that's what the campaign is. It's training ground for these. These are the new activities, the new enemies. These are the new puzzles you're going to have to solve, the tricks you're going to have to learn to get through the raid. So I wouldn't I'd worry less about being raid ready, being in terms of light level. But in terms of what do I need to learn to try to figure out what Destiny is going to throw at me? What is Bungie going to unleash upon me in, I'm not going to say what may be the final raid, but what may be the final raid, at least for a while. Because, after the episodes, the future is unclear.
Yeah. I mean, what you got to think about is that they did tell us this way back when, and I know short-term memory of a lot of people is like, when they explained how we were going to do the campaign, that the campaign would then kind of feed straight into the raid. But then people that didn't do the raid, there would be something else for them to kind of have kind of closure on the whole Light and Dark saga. So this is just their way of kind of re-explaining to us that this is how it's going to go down. If you can do the raid, you can do the raid. But if you can't do the raid, there would be another avenue to kind of still see the outcome of that raid. But something they did bring up, and I can't remember which podcast it was, forgive me, but they said it'd be interesting to see if they did like the contest mode to the 48 hours. But after the first like 10 teams have kind of got through and unlocked it and got that kind of cutscene as we kind of do in the raids, it would be interesting to see if they unlocked it for normal. Like after the, you had the choice of still doing the contest mode if you wanted to, but after it's kind of been completed, is there going to be a way that people could just kind of then go in and play it and just have fun? That would be interesting if they did that, if they unlocked it for regular players to then go, oh, I want to go and finish the raid. I can go in, normal power level, not have to worry about contests and get the raid done. I've seen all the raid races. I know roughly how the encounters go down. It's not going to be a big spoiler, but we could kind of go in, or you could go in with your team and just do it normally after the kind of, and you're not counted towards the 48-hour contest. You don't get anything extra apart from just seeing the end of the raid, really.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice because I'm never going to be day one raid ready, taking days off work to grind my face off and do this, but I wouldn't mind playing the raid day one. Yeah, and just at the normal raid level, going, let me see if I can understand this and learn some of the encounters and just get some loot out of it. I don't need a jacket or to be part of a big race. I just want to go have the experience, and that's honestly, when are there more people looking at raiding than when the raid first comes out, trying to put groups together?
Yeah.
So Bungie has remembered that clans existed. Which, I mean, barely. I mean, I think I was watching data last night going, well, they've remembered clans existed, but just in the most bare of ways. All the things we were hoping they'd do. Give us more than 100 people. Give us the social, a social space for the clans to hang out in. You decorate and maybe hang up some of your trophies and weapons you don't want to carry around. You can put in a house somewhere. But no, we're gonna get some quality of life to clans and some improvements. Hawthorne is still going to be there. He'll have a vendor reputation track, just like everyone else does now. They can earn Guardians can earn reputation by completing activities with higher difficulty activities, giving more progress, and playing with clanmates, giving the largest bonus to progression because, after all, she's the clan vendor. Yeah, they're also getting some love with the Nightfall bounty no longer requiring a clan level 6 to claim. There will be 2 new bounty types, one for seasonal content and one for dungeons. And all clan bounties will gain some clan reputation. And the perks have gotten a little bit stale, because, I can't remember the last time, other than going, oh, hey, we've unlocked these in the beginning of the season. I really thought about, other than like getting that 4th clan bounty to unlock, I can't really remember the last time I thought about any of the perks we unlocked for the clan, going, oh, we did a thing. I'm not even sure they're doing the staves anymore. I think they, as used to at least be able to, again, go to your clan banner and change the stave that it was on, which, was just purely for cosmetics. Never did anything, but...
Yeah, they stopped after a while, didn't they? They were like, oh, you didn't even realise we weren't doing it anymore. And it was like, oh, yeah, you weren't doing it anymore.
Yeah, I noticed the other day, because I went looking, because I usually just I'll go see what the new one is, and then put it back to the Season of the Drifter one, because it's one of the few distinct looking ones that I kind of like the look of, and I was like, oh, they also would keep resetting it every expansion and putting it back to the standard. I'm going, no, I unlocked this. Let me have the thing I unlocked, even if it's just something silly. But yeah, I think in Lightfall they just haven't done any more of those, and they're like, no one noticed, no one cared. I'm sure there's somebody out there somewhere screaming on the forums going, where's my clan stave? But nope, done with it.
I mean, it's nice that they've kind of added to the clans, isn't it? It's like
it's nice they remember they existed.
Yeah,
it really did feel. I mean, when was the last time there? I mean, sort of like factions. When was the last time there was any acknowledgement paid to the clan? Other than going, yeah, here's 100 people you can get together to sort of be in a group. But beyond that, what purpose does the clans serve or do at all?
Yeah.
So yeah, but they're actually, I mean, I guess it makes sense. She was is she the last vendor? I should go look. I think she's the last vendor, if not close to it. That
one of them, yeah,
that didn't have a proper, 0 to 16 or 0 to 10 track of rewards to go earn, and just to know what rewards you even could earn. So she's got raid banners, golf balls, and stuff. Basically anything you'd expect to see is basically the same thing for ranking everybody up now. Make rank go up, get higher reward.
Yeah.
And she's going to have all these new perks that she's going to hand out. So at clan level 2, your raid banner sold from Hawthorne will cost less. Which I mean, I guess that's nice if you're not walking around with like 300 of them because you spent all of your legendary shards back when Bungie was like, make sure you spend all your legendary shards before they go away in the final shape, and then you've got more months, and now you've got thousands of more legendary shards. But eventually that'll be a thing when they do properly go away in final shape, and you need to buy more raid banners, so those will be cheaper. Yeah, you're going to have bountiful bounties when you hit clan level 3, which is the first clan bounty completed each week grants an exotic engram. So again, I mean, if you're newer to the game or just trying to, you've got a character you haven't been playing, or just going, I'm just exotic hunting at this point, another source of exotics other than going and doing your weekly stuff. You can go and just get more exotics from just doing clan bounties. So again, find a friend, join a clan, run some bounties, get more exotics. We have of hawks and pigeons. Your raid rotator challenge grants spoils of conquest. So when you do your raid rotator challenge, more spoils, always a good thing. Trials wins grant additional trials reputation. So again, going in, whether you're going with 6 people or 3 people and going to do higher level activities, you'll get more, reward from that activity. On level 5, we're going to have weapon ritualist, earn bonus crafted weapon XP from completed ritual weapon playlists. So if you're trying to rank something up, you don't just have to go to Shirochi. You could go do something else when you hit clan level 5 with your clan and pick up that and get that perk. And then finally on clan level 6, we have Alloy Completionist. Completing all clan challenges in a week grants an Ascendant Alloy. So there you go.
I'm not being funny, but I think I'm sick of Ascendant Alloys now. I need Ascendant Shards. I need the golf balls. I'm playing Onslaught, and all I'm getting is Ascendant Shard, the alloys. And I get that because it's kind of all about the crafting. But I'm crafted out at the moment. I don't need any more.
Yeah. I mean, looking at these again, like I'm happy that they again remembered clans existed and gave me a reason to go visit Hawthorne and the Bird. But yeah, I'm not sure these are things that are really going to excite me. Again, like if I was doing raid rotator challenges, getting more spoils, never a bad thing. I would say, hey, go grab this, because I assume it's not, you don't need a full clan of people to get these rewards. I assume it's, hey, you've got, I don't even know if it's 3 people in a raid, or if you're playing trials, if 2 of you are in the same clan, does it count? Does it, do you have to, does it have to be with your clan? If just your clan has it unlocked, do you individually get more trials rep for doing this?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I was trying to remember, like for the raid stuff, I know like when you're doing something as a clan, I think it needed to be like at least 3 of you, or maybe it was 4 in the clan to go get that achievement. But this is just going and doing the thing, and it's just okay. You're gonna do a thing. Here's more spoils. Enjoy your spoils and have a nice day. Enjoy your respawn and have a nice day.
You need to talk. You need to say hi. People don't believe us that you're here.
They don't. They never.
Oh, I was muted. I said no, yay. I forgot today was Saturday, and I'm in the Seattle airport.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Ooh. Coming to us
Airport
live.
respawn. We haven't had that for a while.
Yeah.
People do like an export respawn.
We haven't had a good airport show.
Okay. What's going on?
Oh, we're just telling people about all the fun changes to the clan bounties. And since you're Mr. Raider, how do you feel about the raid coming out 3 days after the final shape?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. He's happy.
That's
I mean, we haven't had a raid in a while. 3 more days isn't really going to break anything.
But people are so upset that it's not like, a week out or 10 days or whatever.
You mean you don't have enough time to prepare? Well, the light level's not going to change.
Right.
So, no, you say this, but it is for an expansion.
This is Respawn giving you a sensible, level-headed take on the raid. See, it's just
unless,
fine.
Of course,
everyone
there is a light
fine.
level increase, in which case,
you're fine.
3 days is not going to be enough.
You're going to get through the campaign. It'll be fine.
Look, you'll be fine because in the last couple of expansions, they've given you enough infusion by just doing the actual campaign to get to light level ready, haven't they? And there's no point in waiting another 7 days if you can do the campaign and then just do the raid straight away, like 3 days later. Isn't it better to kind of do that rather than kind of get to the end baddie's door and just have to wait another 7 days and go, oh, hang on a minute, we've got to wait 7 days, we've got to wait for that timer, and then we can go through the door and do the big bad. Isn't it better?
I don't really want to have to wait.
There you go. See,
as long as you can get the light level, then it should be fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they've done with the previous couple of campaigns, isn't it? That you've been able to get to the light level with just doing the legend campaign. They've gone, well, if you've managed to do the campaign on legend, we'll give you enough infusion stuff to get you up to the power level, and then save your bounties as you kind of always done to kind of help with your artifact. If we've still got another artifact next season, you never know if we might not have one. But
yeah.
Well,
I
mean,
would
the artifact go away though?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have an artifact at least through final shape, because I remember, I saw a response and I failed to capture it. Someone basically saying, asking, what will our raid power be like in the raid and final shape, and they were like, the Bungie response was, whatever artifact you're at level you're at will be what you are. So either we're getting a new one for final shape or the one we have now, whichever. But it's basically you'll have an artifact that will able to increase your power. And I saw it on Twitter, and I don't remember who.
I want an arc artifact. We've been on Strand, Solar, and Stasis for way too long.
Yeah. Are you also hoping that maybe it's got some void in it after playing Onslaught and getting all the void weaponry? Going, look at all these void weapons that I really can't use because I'm not running a void build.
Void? Yeah, that'd be real nice.
No one would be mad about that.
No.
I know a bunch of Arc Titans out there that would really appreciate that. Yeah.
And then are you excited that Hawthorne's getting an update? She's actually going to get a reputation track where you'll be able to get stuff from it. Enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and sentence shards.
Don't we already get that stuff from her?
Nope.
Hawthorne, the bird lady, that when you complete the weekly bounty, you get enhancement for that lady.
Yeah. But now she's actually going to have a reward track that she'll be able to reward you for. Because
she felt left out because everybody else got a reward track but her.
Yeah, Zavala says, we've all been rocking these reward tracks for the last kind of couple of years. You're the last one.
I want one too.
Yeah, you're the last one. We don't want to leave you out. So, you know what?
He's not the last one. Deborah K doesn't have a track. And I'd argue to say that he's more useful than she is.
Well, he doesn't know because he's down on the EDZ.
Is he, though? Deborah, when was the last time anyone talked to Deborah? Deborah got one cutscene and doesn't leave.
The line. He's sniping people from that church tower. What is Hawthorne doing? Nothing.
Hawthorne is being tended to by a bird. That's her job. Someone has to feed the bird.
I stick by what I said. At least he's doing something for the cause. He's just hanging out. He doesn't deserve a track. Give it to Devon K instead. Give us a reason to go back to the EDZ. Besides legendary Lost Anchor.
There you go. Go be Devon K. Go sit in your church and snipe people. Wait, no, that wasn't the message.
Right.
So that's one thing we were discussing. Is there at clan level 4 you're gonna have an of Hawks and Pigeons perks, which says raid rotator challenge grants spoils of conquest, and we were wondering going, now do you need a full raid team for that to work? Is it just if you're or a full raid team of your same clan for that to work? Is it like what does it say? Is it like 3 people in the same clan or 4 in the same clan?
That specifically says your clan.
Right.
So if it doesn't specifically say your clan, I would say no. You just got to do the raid, I guess.
That's my. Because it's the raid rotator challenge just gives you spoils, and then your trials wins grant additional trials rep. So I'm guessing it's just if you're in a clan, you will and that clan is at perk 5, it will give you that reward. Versus
maybe it's like it used to be, like if anybody in your clan does it, you get credit towards it or something. Like the old ones, remember? Like if we had our clan guys go to trials, we'd get a trials Ingram, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that.
Right. Yeah, that's what we were just guessing, and it's gonna be another source for exotics. So when you're at level 3, bountiful bounties, first clan bounty completion each week gives you an exotic. So loads of exotics, cheaper raid banners, all good stuff.
Cheaper raid banners is really good. You should lead with that.
Oh, we did lead with that, but you were late, so now we're catching you up. this is the beginning of episode 2 going, last week, when we left our champions, here's what we saw. And that's this.
Right.
Just like Fireteam Finder moving out of beta. Fireteam Finder, no longer in beta. Earlier this week, they were like, hey, we think it's good enough. We're gonna remove the beta tag and say we're good.
Yeah. So they've also updated the Destiny companion app on your phones and your tablets and things. And I was listening to, I think it was DCP. They were talking about it, and they were like, "Oh, it's still got the old Fireteam Finder on there as well." And I think they said it's at the top that you can go and use the legacy one. Yeah, Fireteam Finder Legacy, because that one's quite useful for if you're kind of doing an encounter or doing something, you can actually write what you kind of want out of it rather than kind of have the pre-made this, and this, and add tags and emotes and things that they've added to the Fireteam Finder. So there's both versions still at the moment available on the app, on the phone anyway.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's one of the complaints people, obviously people have had is you can't really write out, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. It's we've got emojis I can use. Yeah. There was and as part of the taking out of beta, there's the companion app and Bungie.net integration. So I don't know what that means. If you can use it on the website now, I know that was one thing they were bringing. But they've updated the roster tab to only display 12 players on each page. They've improved the screen-to-screen flow, improved the feedback when submitting applications, your legibility improvements on listing information, clear indication of new pending application for leaders. Added emoji to listing titles, so you can communicate purely through pictures like the ancient Egyptians.
Yeah.
They added Onslaught and 0-hour options, because obviously those weren't things before, and 60 other bug fixes and improvements. But they aren't done yet, and basically go on to say, we're going to be doing more, adding features like voice chat and lobby invites, so you can actually, communicate with people before you get in there and figure out what, if you've got the right 6 people with you to do the thing you're trying to do. And just say, hey, they're happy of just the number of people that went out and used it, tested it, and basically said we got a ton of feedback from the community of people using it, and that's why they're like, hey, it's working well enough. We're able to take it out of beta and let it loose on you all. So that's good.
There needs to be a way that you can go in there and view the last people that you played with, right?
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to rate them. You don't have to rate them, but you should have the ability to. For example, if you have people that continuously come in, use up all your revives, and then dip, you should be able to say, this guy is a saboteur. Mark him down as a saboteur.
There should be positive commendations and less positive commendations for going, not a good team player.
Refuses to communicate with the team.
Worst dressed. Yeah. Yeah, no,
Left
I'm
after
with
5
you.
Seconds.
If
anybody ever gives me a worse stress, I'm uninstalling. That better not be in the game.
I give best dress to everybody who doesn't want it, and that's my mini game. Yeah, but it's what I remember when they were releasing this, and we were going, well, that's all well and good, but are you going to invest in this, Bungie, or is this going to be a one and done? Hey, we made Fireteam Finder, and like clans, we'll think about it again sometime in 2027. So it's nice to see that they're just continuing to remember this exists and, just investing into it more and making it more useful.
Yeah.
Sorry, Demon and I are onslaughting while we record, so...
Are you wearing the broken glass helmet so you can have health and revives and overshields and all that good stuff?
I was yesterday. Today I am the Infinite Well Warlock and just going, I have all the solar and all the healing.
Okay.
But I wasn't running on China.
How do you like the changes now that the further you go, the more you get rewarded? Because Micah and I were having to educate Andy, because Andy's like, so you're just doing 10 and leaving, right? And we're like, no.
No,
like,
that hasn't.
Efficient.
No, but that hasn't been implemented yet.
Right, but here's what I'm saying though. And Andy's like, but it's more efficient. And me and Mike was like, yeah, it's your. It's like, what? Let's go 50 all the way, baby. But no. Even there is something that is there, because Mike and I noticed it. Even in its current state, when you go to like level 30 and 40 and 50, you do get more of the currency.
Oh, yeah.
You might not get more drops, but you get more of the currency, right?
Yeah.
So there is, even right now, a reason to keep going if your whole purpose is to get that currency. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, having to convince Andy to not leave after 10 rounds was pulling an arm and a leg. Because apparently, That's the thing people do. They go in for 10 and then dip. And it's like, but why? It's not fun. It's not.
Well, yeah, but it's efficient. Come on, you've met Destiny gamers. They're going to say, how can I min-max this? How can I absolutely optimize every second of playing time? That's why everyone goes to Peroty and goes and murders things. How can I do this in the quickest way possible? And sometimes it's just go play the activity, go enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
just be there for the horde mode. Yeah,
I mean, it is. The horde mode is good though. Like this was an actual decent mode, so just enjoy it.
Yeah, go fully enjoy it. 10 is not a horde. That's barely a horde. That's barely a large group of unruly school children.
How does Noble know I'm traveling? Oh, because I'm not streaming.
Yeah, because he can't harass you in stream, and I'm sure he's very upset about it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He's like, and writers were talking to. He's like, you need to tell people when you travel. How do you know? You're not on stream. Oh, that's not at all weird.
The Empire never sleeps. Respawn. The Empire knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Evil, British. Take your pick.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, and Destiny 2 into the light in year 10.
Yeah. Bungie introduced a variety of activities and rewards to celebrate the lead up to the final shape. This includes a blend of limited time content with activities and rewards that will continue to be available to players after the event ends. And they'd like to give us a full breakdown of what this content is going to be and what's leaving when the final shape releases. So
thank you, Bungie. This is exactly what we've been asking for. Thank you. Tell me what I need to binge. Tell me what's going to be up for 5 weeks, and tell me what is going to stick around for longer.
Well, it's what I've always kind of said. You're going to have to binge Onslaught if you want to kind of get the gold shiny weapons, which people are still unhappy about. That it's very low drop rate. You're going to have to kind of binge it, and this is something I wish that they'd kind of put into the game several months ago, because I'd have really appreciated having more time to grind these weapons and have time to just play the game mode, because I know it's meant to be a limited time event, but at the end of the day, it's created a very good kind of.
I mean, just the desire to go play it, like just
that's what it. Yeah, it's a desire to kind of play the game.
Exciting to chase, and the shinies make it. I mean, it's been great fun seeing the overlap of Destiny players and Pokemon players going. No, you're hunting shinies. It should be hard. This is the chase. This is I've seen plenty of those memes of the two arm wrestling and being like Destiny 2 players hunting shinies, Pokemon players hunting shinies. Like it should be hard. Like this should not be everybody gets all the shinies all the time.
No, it's a bit like raid exotics.
It should be an exciting drop.
You shouldn't have to do a quest to get a raid exotic. You should have to play the game over and over again, because that's what I miss from Destiny 1. Like I said before, getting an exotic felt unique because not everybody had all the exotics, unless you kind of played all the time and it was just like you got them over the time. But
or had phenomenal luck.
Yeah,
and that's that's sort of what the shinies are, just phenomenal luck. You go, you play, you spin the wheel, and you see what comes out the other end. Sometimes
and that's why I wish
sometimes it's garbage.
That's why I wish it kind of had come a lot sooner, so that or it would stick around a lot sooner. I mean, I know the whole game mode is going to be here after the final shape, but getting the shinies, even if they are garbage, some of them, I'd like to get a shiny or 2 or 3, but it's just the time commitment to try and get them for average players is very limited, to be honest, and that's something I'd rather they kind of put in the game a lot sooner.
Yeah, wish it was here longer. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Again, I'm happy they've done it, and I'm happy it's here, because there's always a chance where it comes back, or there's always, hey, we're going to introduce. It's another activity they can throw. Obviously they're switching, evolving and switching out the loot pools on. But they can throw more things into it. So they can say, "Hey, here's the the Echo's shiny," or I can't remember what the other episodes are going to be called. But hey, here's the batch you're going to get with this. Like, there's always the opportunity for more. Like I know they're never going to bring back these exact things and these versions of them and these shiny weapons, but just having the idea in the game of going, oh hey, here's a limited time thing, like that's exciting to me. Like I like that chase. I like that hunt. I like that it's a chase that's like one, it's not just cosmetic, because just cosmetic chases are fun.
Yeah,
but I don't find them as satisfying. If it was just a shiny weapon, I'd be like, okay, it looks different, fine. but it's not exciting. But it's the fact that it rolls with the double perks, and when Final Shape comes out, I'll be able to enhance them. Like that gives me something that it's a limited time thing, so I was there when I got it, and it gives me some actual utility in the game. It's not just a pretty thing. It's a pretty thing that's actually a better weapon, and I didn't need to raid for it. I didn't need to. Which again, I mean, there's plenty of loot and raids, and if you've got a team of 5 people, great. I like that I can jump on with 1 or 2 or none other people and go have a chance of doing this. Just go into this activity and say, let's see what happens.
Yeah. So to start with, they'd like to highlight the content that will only be available during Destiny 2 Into the Light. So that's up until June 3rd. So the Pantheon activity, which we still haven't seen yet. So that is their raid boss gauntlet that will be available from April 30th to June 3rd. So with Pantheon, they wanted to create a unique challenge and event that players could test their mettle against prior to the big battle in the Final Shape. Pantheon will offer a chance to earn a variety of emblems, similar to the limited time of emblems that they've made available in contest raids, and they expect the exclusivity of these emblems will make them highly sought after. Yes, they will.
Definitely. Yeah, and that's one for like we were teasing about last week, is only going to be up from April 30th until Final Shape launch. So that's the limited time of the limited timest of limited time activities. So I mean, really, that's going to be the FOMO what everyone's going to be farming in those 5 weeks. Which, again, I think it's exciting. Don't even know what it is yet, but I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to see what it is like, because I
think it's going to be one of those things that not all players are going to be able to do, and
correct.
Sometimes that is a good thing, and sometimes that is a bad thing. But it's going to be one of those really hard things, I think, to achieve. But when you get it done, you've got to have all those emblems to show off. You're going to have a lot more
emblems, raid weaponry. I mean, in my heart, I'm hoping it's basically like Onslaught for raid bosses. Like it's some sort of ring you go into, Coliseum you go into, and you kill a raid boss. Okay, well now let me go try to kill the next one. Now let me go try to kill the next one, and go up until however far you can go in, or however many bosses are available, and then get rewards based on that. Like that's exciting to me. Like going in saying we're going to throw you up against the biggest bad you've ever fought. Let's see how you fare.
Yeah,
and again, while I wish there was I wish Bungie would sort of do the. There's never a happy medium between tell me what's coming and versus don't tell me anything. I wish they had sort of gone the reverse of this and said, let's tell you more things about Onslaught that's going to be out forever, and maybe tell me fewer things about Onslaught that's going to be around for a while, and tell me a little more things about the Pantheon, who you're going to have 5 weeks to go play.
Yeah,
it's going to be a here and gone. Instead of going, well, here's everything about Onslaught, and then here's this Pantheon thing, which we're not going to tell you anything about until it gets here. Surprise. Which, I mean, I guess to be fair, it's probably, again, like, it's a raid boss challenge. It's a go in, kill this guy, rinse and repeat. And those strats are well defined for beating those raid bosses. But I sort of wish I knew a little bit more about the super limited time activity, even to decide, is this something I want to try to invest time into, versus Onslaught going, well, that's going to be around. Like, yes, I understand, I'm happy you told me the Brave weapon is a limited time thing, so I can make that decision of, do I farm my face off for these? But I can still go play Onslaught and Final Shape. Like, that's not going anywhere. I can go enjoy that content for months. Whereas the Pantheon thing I'm excited about, but going, I don't know enough. I don't know enough to know if I stand a chance.
Yeah. And it's definitely something that I think we're going to know a little bit more next week, because next week is going to be Iron Banner. Next week they'll probably hopefully they'll remind us that we've got Iron Banner next week, the week after on April 30th. And then we've got Pantheon at the same time. So there'll be PvP and PvE available in that 1 week.
Ooh.
I know. It's exciting.
Tusk of the Boars to farm with Deconstruct.
Oh, did everybody see the Fallout video this week?
Which one was this week? I've seen a number of Fallout videos.
So Fallout this week.
Which one was this week?
You remember, like, a couple of weeks back, Legola Flash did the Tusk of the Boar with the deconstruct.
Talking about the deconstruct infinite round shenanigans again. He's obsessed with it. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a breakdown of the deconstruction. You had to fire it at enemies' legs to get it to proc, to then do the deconstruction, which basically gives you ammo for free out of thin air.
Yep.
But this week, Fallout said with the update that came on Tuesday, which we'll quickly probably cover at some point, that they've changed it again, and they've actually improved it. So as long as you get 3 hits on anything, it gives you the ammo for free out of thin air.
Yeah, I remember seeing like the D2 Clarity guys basically sobbing at the length of the community note. Like if you open Dim and you've got a weapon with deconstruct, just the length of the note about deconstruct and how it works and all of the perks and caveats and like they're just like it just gets longer and longer as they find more things and how it works differently.
Yeah.
But the short version is go get yourself a Tusk of the Boar with deconstruct, because in Onslaught you can in standard anyway, not legendary, you can get a kill and it's basically
no, it doesn't even have to get a kill as long as it hits 3 enemies.
Oh, right, yeah,
so
sorry,
all the enemies that are
does damage.
funneling at you. If you get 3 hits on them, it will give you ammo out of thin air for free.
Yeah.
And it automatically reloads it straight into your weapon.
It's Icebreaker or Whisper of the Worm in its best form of you shoot, you just shoot again. You don't have to think, you just keep shooting. And it's waveframe strength grenade launcher, so pair it with all your favorite things. It's really good. I have a couple that just happen to get deconstructed. In the pile I had some good rolls, and I've been using that all week on my Titan, and it's such good fun. Just to pair that and go, you're all dead now, and I have ammo, so I can kill your friends too. It's really good. But yeah, Multi-Mock's back, Tusk of the Boar is back. Lots of good things to farm in Iron Banner, which is sadly not now, but soon.
No, but we'll remind you next week that it's back next week. The week after, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, because that'll be your last chance. And yeah, there's some tasty multi-mock rolls to go for as well. I didn't know how quickly Kinetic Tremors could proc all the multi-mock, and which makes it somewhat viable in PvP. So that's good fun.
So the other thing that is going away is the Godslayer title, which comes with the Pantheon, and the seal as well. That will be going away. So if you earn your Godslayer title whilst playing the Pantheon event, that'd be cool. The Brave Arsenal limited edition variants, so these are the gold ones. They will be the ones that are going away and only available until June 3rd. Hall of Champions and the associated quests. So that will be Arcite 9940, Armor Chest. The Weapon Attunement will no longer be available after the June 3rd. The Hall of Champions will have served its purpose for now, but they probably will bring it back at some point. But continuing content after June 3rd. So these are the new features and rewards in Destiny 2 Into the Light that they plan to keep around after the event ends. So the Onslaught activity will be staying, and the Brave Arsenal weapons will also be staying, and they'll be moving into the Vanguard Ops playlist when the final shape drops. The 3 PvP maps are arriving on May 7th that we haven't got yet that are part of the Into the Light, so of course they're going to be sticking around. The Whisper and 0 Hour exotic missions and rewards, those reprised exotic missions, will continue to be available and move into the Legends tab after June 3rd. And the exotic weapons and catalyst rewards from these missions will also be available to earn from Eris and Ada 1. But I don't know if they are going on the rotator like we have at the moment with the exotic missions, the Vox Obscura, the Presage, and the other one that I always forget about. Those ones that are in the Legends tab, they're on a 3-week rota, or every week they change, but every 3rd week, the first one will come back. So I don't know if it's just going to be an extra node because there's no real point to kind of rotate those. But you never know. You never know with Bungie.
Pantheon's the boss raid, right? Or the boss rush thing?
The boss rush mode that we don't know anything about, but we do know things about if we've watched the Scarrow 9 video.
Yeah, the thing they told us nothing about.
Yeah, it was in the show notes last week. I'll put it in the show notes again this week because I've mentioned it again. So Bungie Bounty for Good. I wish Bungie. We've talked about this. You and me. we have spoken at length about this over months and months of the years that we've been doing this podcast. Now, it would have been lovely to know that there was a Bungie Bounty in the UK on the day that the TWAB actually dropped, before the TWAB actually dropped.
Nice.
It's not funny. Why did we not tell people? I mean, I know I could have gone and looked. I know I could have gone and looked for the Kilts for Kids campaign and seen who was doing different things, but it would have been nice to have it in the TWAB the previous week.
Funny.
No, but
it's a little bit funny.
It's not a John.
Not. I thought you were supposed to know this already. Doesn't your dad work for Bungie?
Yeah.
If only there was some sort of award-winning community team they could have utilized to get this information out to people. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was Bungie bounties and going on for the Kilts for Kids campaign to raise money for the Kilts for the Kids, because kids need kilts.
Buy emblem, get cow.
Yeah.
Then you'll have a cow emblem, and then you'll be happy.
Did you buy your emblem? Because you said you were going to buy your emblem because you really wanted that to go with your plaid.
I have not yet, but I just got paid on Friday, so I'm going to this weekend. And now I can run around with my warlock in pajamas and my little cow emblem, because basically it's as close as I'm getting to a kilt for my warlock. Because the Titans don't have any cloth on armor, so there's just no kilts to be had.
No.
Even the butt capes are very, very revealing, so not good kilts. But yeah. Bungie, more Highland cows and things, please. And thank you. Yes.
And please let us know a week before.
Yeah.
You know, just I don't understand why you put it in the TWAB the time that it went live.
By the way, you're missing this right now.
Yeah. Like, well, I've got work now, and then I've got to make dinner for the kids, and then I've got this and I've got that. It's like, I know that's not your fault, Bungie, but come on.
No, I'm pretty sure that's exactly Bungie's fault.
I was going to say, if they didn't tell you, then it's exactly their fault. Yeah, I mean, it's 100% their fault.
And then they've let us know who won Onslaught, who the winners were in the US. Again, another one of those things that we're going to only do in the US.
And Canada, but not Mexico.
Yeah.
Because we can only go north from the US. They're
Okay.
like, listen, we're in Washington. We're on the west coast of the US in the northern tip. We know we're Canada. We can see Canada from our house, but we can't see the UK from our house. Sorry, it's they don't even know you exist.
No.
They're not sure how time zones work. They don't know where the rest of the world is. They're like, listen, we can see Canada and the US, and Russia is over there across that big body of water somewhere. That's how Bungie sees the world.
I'm in Canada because I'll be in Canada from Wednesday to Friday this week.
Well, you still can't win. It's over and done with. So well done to Special Hero, Golden Demon 12, Ducky Mammon, Flareps, Toxic Rhyme, The Sun, T-Storm, Chew-Bomb, and Help. Was that Bungie Help?
Just help.
Just help me.
Oh, good job. And enjoy your giant speeders, or I can't even remember what they were getting at this point.
Shack's heads. Shack's heads.
That's right. Shack's heads, roly poly, Shack's heads. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're not happy about the Shack's heads.
No. But if you'd like to win Onslaught, you can go buy your own Shack's head, and then you can have it, and then you can be happy.
Well, you could just buy it anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Shax may not be super pleased with you, but you've got his head. What's he gonna do? Well, guess what? There was a server fix on Into the Light Day.
There was, and they fixed things.
They did.
This was something that they kind of went on to talk about how they were going to make Into the Light be easy to kind of loading, and once kind of servers go back up, you'll just kind of be able to go straight into the game, and it's kind of a future proofing kind of help for the rest of the game. But they did come across a few technical issues that they've identified now, but it's now all fixed basically.
Yeah, things were broken. Now they're fixed. Which if you're interested in the technical bits about server CPU usage and whatever, you can read. But if you're not, then you're going to go, yep, those are all words you said, and I understood none of those.
Yeah.
So I personally enjoy when they get into at least a little bit of the, hey, here's what broke and here's how we fix it thing, just because I'm interested academically. But yeah, most people are going, yep, your game was broken, now your game is fixed. You showed us bats on the live stream, and then we hit bats in orbit, and weren't able to get to Onslaught.
Basically, what they're saying in the trial is that what they thought they were doing for Into the Light was basically going to get them ready for the final shape. But then when Into the Light dropped and they had all those issues with people not receiving their rewards and the problems that they were incurring with the servers, they've now been fixed. So touch wood, when we kind of come to the final shape and the servers come back up and you download the update, there won't be an issue, because like we've had in the past with like Rise of Iron, I remember very sweetly having to wait like 3 or 4 hours to get in to play it in the queue and things like that. And we've now kind of gone past that. And we used to joke, don't think you're going to be playing day 1, minute 1 of the expansion being live, because there's always issues. I mean, there was still issues, but they were still able to keep the game up and fix the issues this time once it kind of went live. So it's something that they've been working towards. Kind of once they push the expansion and the update, then it kind of everything kind of works. So touch wood, that they have actually fixed it, and the final shape will be the final shape, and no issues with the final shape.
He's really got to stop touching wood, dude. We've had the discussion. We need to knock it off.
He's going to touch as much wood as he wants to.
Look,
yeah, and
knock on wood, touch wood, rub the wood. You can do whatever to the wood you like, as long as it keeps Bungie happy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Bungie being happy, did you see that somebody already ran the solo Onslaught level 50 hard mode?
I sure did. And had the world's greatest YouTube thumbnail for it.
Yeah.
Sweet MS Paint file. Yep, I did, and I saw it was a hunter, and that people are moaning because he used like an out of bounds boss room cheese to do it. I'm going, no, you all can't moan. That's how we do things here.
Yeah, this is how we actually deal with things.
Yeah, we're saying, listen, if I can jump into the ceiling and shoot the boss, and the boss can't shoot me, that's the boss's problem. The boss, he lives there. We're just visiting that pyramid ship. He should have known that vent was there. If you don't fix the vent before the Guardians show up, that's kind of on you. That's like monologuing to the hero before you kill them. That's your fault. You should have just killed him and you would have been fine.
I think at the end of the day, he did the hard part of soloing the ADUs with the tormentors and the enemies. Give him a break. If he gets to the boss room and he can use a cheese for that, then, God bless him. He's allowed.
I am convinced that Bungie puts those there specifically so people can find a way to solo things, right? Because that's not an out-of-bounds map. Right? He just jumped up into the rafters. Same way you do on the Nightfall a couple of weeks back. Remember how you can jump up on the pipes and then up to the rafters? It's not an out of bounds glitch. It's just you're utilizing the terrain that Bungie provided. Okay.
Well, the internet nerds are very upset about it.
Well, the internet nerds didn't throw it their way. How about that?
Yeah, they also didn't get through any levels of Legendary Onslaught solo, so their opinion is invalid.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
I was watching that run, which unfortunately got muted. I was wondering, is there no sound? Then I saw his comment, muted due to copyright. So he's playing, whatever music or audio he had on got muted by YouTube. But so I'm watching this playthrough, and there's a moment where a tormentor gets him, and his health bar is gone. Like he has 0 life left, but is just able to skirt away just in the nick of time. I was like, oh.
Oh, bless!
I just imagined his whole audio is just him going no.
That's the way I kind of play Onslaught in Legend mode.
Are you through security respawn?
I am, and I wanted to say sorry for the editing that this is going to be, but my house I have waiting one of those headphones that sit on the bones of your jaw. Next Saturday when I'm in the airport again, y'all won't have to hear this crap, right? I know it's irritating, and I know people get upset when we have these things. So I can't mute the phone fast enough because it goes, like, the screen turns off. I have to turn the screen back on. I have to put my little code in, and then unmute it. But by the time I get there, it's over already,
Yep. So people will be able to hear you conducting your bone next week. Is that what I heard?
Yes. Got so many visual implications. I immediately saw myself in the front of an orchestra, and saw myself in front of an orchestra.
Bone conduction audio is the wave of the future, I hear. So you're the one conducting with bones over there, not me. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I won't have it until I get home. But yeah.
So. No, I know you're traveling, Respawn, but how are you enjoying Onslaught? Are you enjoying it quite a bit now?
I've been doing exclusively Onslaught. I haven't even done the Whisper mission yet, and I want to get that. But every time I turn on Destiny, I just default to Onslaught. It's like I know there's other things to do in the game, but Onslaught,
You just hear Shaq screaming at you, and you're like,
when I have 2 other Strand people there. And I'm using the final warning. I figured out how to use that, by the way. You don't fully charge it. You neglected to mention that. So the final warning, with me using a Beyblade build and 2 other people using a Beyblade build, there are so many Beyblades. We just stand there and let the Beyblades do all the work. It's crazy damage when all 3 people are making strand balls for me.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave that joke on the table.
Okay, the balls I get, but I don't want to know how you're going to incorporate a strand ball. So just leave it there.
Okay.
I'm just saying you've told us about your bone conducting, and now you're talking about balls, and I'm just.
I'm talking about shooting balls. Yeah. That escalated quickly.
Some mornings you're just a small child.
Yeah, I even tried a warlock build. I went back and there's this warlock build that I used to use whenever I would play warlock in raids, and it's just like a warlock melee build where you use poison gauntlets, gas malice. No, then sort of a.
Yeah, your necrotic grips and osteostrigger, necrotic grips and something. Yeah, necrotic grips.
Two glaives. Now that we have two glaives, I use the heavy glaive, and I use the glaive that both heals me when I get a kill and also reloads upon melee, so I never run out of ammo, right? So that plus the osteostrigger, I was doing work. Like I didn't even fire a round until like level 30-ish on the legend difficulty onslaught mode. So it was pretty viable. But after level 30 or so, not so much. On those first 30 rounds, bro, let me tell you. Because that poison was just everywhere, and it was great. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's fun. It's good stuff.
That's the thing I've been finding is that, as I was saying to Peroty before we started the show, is that I've been doing a lot of like research on YouTube, watching a lot of people do some builds, and then incorporating those builds into like Warlock, Titan, and Hunter. And some of the things I've kind of been Glimmerpaw, Shardpaw, and things, but that's by the by. But actually using these builds, they're going, oh, I can solo, I can do like Onslaught on Legend difficulty with this build. Watch this build. This is amazing. And I'm like, okay, and I struggle to get past like certain waves. And I know that's down to team composition as well, because when they go in with their builds, sometimes they're set up to do their builds with their team. And that also plays into how well that they're kind of being able to use their builds. I mean, they use them quite regularly, or they've practiced with them before they've kind of done the build and shown you in the video. And it does take a while for you to kind of get used to them, even if you're kind of just doing normal as well.
Like sometimes it's the build, and sometimes it's the play loop with the build, where you like sometimes the play loop is throw down rift, shoot man, repeat, and sometimes the build is you do this, you proc this, you get this going, and then you get there's a loop you sort of have to maintain, like with the Titan consecration slam. Like a lot of times it's you sort of need a large amount of enemy rich environment to keep that loop going, to keep your heal up, to be alive. And sometimes if you don't have that, it's hard to sort of keep that cure and restoration going. So it's like it could be a good build, but if you can't keep the loop alive, you're going, well, I can see how this could work, but I can't get it to work.
Yeah, it's a lot of communication and a lot of kind of team composition as well to kind of get these legend ones done. I mean, I've yet to do a legend, but I really want to do a legend. And it's kind of trying to figure out the build and then the team as well.
No, what you need to do is, unless you're playing with a team that you need to use a solo build, right? Use a build that will carry you even if you have no one there. And that way, if they're there and they're assisting you, then, kudos or whatever. But like when I'm a hunter, not when I'm a hunter, when I'm playing and I'm by myself.
He's admitted it. When he's a hunter. Yeah.
I usually go with a void build or void invis build, right? Keep myself alive and to resurrect them when they inevitably die. Or even like a Tommy's matchbook, because believe it or not, I can keep myself alive with the infinite dodge and the fast recovery healing grenade, right? So now when I'm playing with Micah, then I'll swap to the Strand build because I know he's going to be making the tangles, and I'm making tangles, and we got all kinds of Beyblades going everywhere, right? So I know I'm going to have that synergy with him, so that I can go to a team-based build. But unless you're playing with somebody, you need to have a build where you can trust you, regardless of what they do.
Yeah.
And once you get that mindset in, and once you find a build that can do for whatever character you're playing, the Legend Onslaught, you can probably get to level 30 easy by yourself, even if you have two idiots. You know what I mean? So the only thing that's going to deter you is if you kind of want the Tormentor early-ish, not the first level, but early-ish, because if you get him in the first level, you have a higher chance of getting him later on, and that's going to suck when he comes out at like level 45 or whatever. That sucks, right? But if you get him like early on in the levels, like the third or fourth, then you're most likely not going to see him again, right? So you kind of want to see him early too. Now, if you're not seeing him early, no, he will come out eventually, and he's going to hurt when he does. you know. But yeah,
and I've heard a lot of
you...
people talking about the Tormentors, especially in Legend mode. They were saying that you need a gold Shax. He won't go for the legendary ones, the decoys. He'll only go for the gold Shax, because that's what we were finding when we were playing. I was playing with Noble and Hoops, and we tried legendary, and we literally the first, like, I think wave 6 and wave 9, he spawned in on 3 separate occasions that we kind of played, and just kind of destroyed the ADU because he was standing right next to it, shooting or slamming the the decoy.
He doesn't even have to hit it. I don't know if you know this, but all they have to do is stand in the circle and they do damage. Even if they're shooting you, if they're in the circle, they're causing damage to the ADU. Yep. So you got to lead him away from that, first of all. Yeah. You got to lead him away, the whole team, because there's always one idiot that thinks that he's going to stand the ADU and defend it against that guy. No. Get away from the ADU, don't be that guy, right? And the other thing is, like, I waste all my money on the golden Shaxes, and people give me crap about it. We need turrets, we need this. No, trust me, you need the Shax, right?
Yeah.
Get the Shax. And if you have a bubble Titan, get the Shax, put a bubble on him, and he has near infinite health. And then you can go on the bubble and do your damage to the Tormentor without having to get killed. You know what I mean? So, yes, golden Shax, bubble on Shax, Tormentor becomes trivial unless he comes out in the 40s, and then it's pretty much GG.
Yeah, so I mean, as I said, I've been playing all these builds and hopefully kind of find a build that works really well in normal mode that I can then take into legend mode, which is what I'm kind of doing at the moment. I've been playing Titan, Warlock, and Hunter, and I was saying to Peroty that the Hunter build that I had, I needed Orpheus rigs, and I was like, I've got 2 pairs of these. Do you think I could find the 2 pairs? No, they weren't in my inventory at all. I must have deleted them, so they must have been really low level. So I had to go and purchase some more, which then made me kind of glimmer poor and made me shard poor. And I was like, oh no, and now I can't level them up. And I'm like, damn it. So I'm now having to grind for enhancement cores and enhancement prisms as well. Best place to do that is the Nightfalls, but I don't want to play Nightfalls because I want to play Onslaught because it's just an addictive mode.
Because why would you play anything? Besides Onslaught, there is only Onslaught. Bungie, I'm fine with you not touching Gambit ever again in exchange for a better Gambit. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of people were talking about the drop rates for the shinies and things, and I think Bungie put out a tweet that we've kind of got in our show notes that it's going to be patched or buffed next week, but I think a lot of people were saying, I think one person said they did like 700 runs before they even got one shiny. And I was like, I think I was a bit too blessed last week when I first kind of did Onslaught because, I must have only done like about 100 waves and I got a shiny to drop. And I think I'm on the opposite curve of, now I'm expecting it to drop at some point.
The first taste is free, Nitedemon.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is this that I had the first taste for free, and then now I'm like, oh, I miss it. I want mine now. But
now you're craving it. All you can think about are shinies. That's it. They've got their hooks in you now. Yeah, I was sitting here going, I haven't seen a single one to drop, and then I went back and looked at Dim later on, and going, oh, that one that looks a little bit different that's sitting in my postmaster. Oh, that's a shiny Elsie's rifle. I should go look at that.
Yeah.
So sometimes they drop and you're going, I didn't even realize that was that because it looks different, but not different enough. And again, like when I didn't have it in the game to inspect, it was like, oh, that looks a little bit different. Or apparently, depending on what TV you play on, it can have a very different looking very different. I was talking to Hoops last night going, I was on this sort of crap TV playing, and now I'm on this other full 4K high def TV, and the colors are different on all the Brave weapons. Now they look different to me.
Yeah. And as I said, we're doing all these different builds. I've been looking at a lot of videos and different channels, and the main ones that I've kind of gravitated towards are Maptics and Plunder the Booty, which I will link in the show notes because it's best to kind of go and check out their channels because the amount of builds that they kind of put out. And Dimwee, it was in my chat this week because I was streaming, going over some of these builds. He was like, why are you using these YouTuber builds? They changed one mod on it and they called it a new build. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I want to kind of see if it does any if it's good for me, basically. And I get that, it is 1 or 2 mods or 1 or 2 weapons, and they call it a new build, but it is technically a new build. It's or they've gone back over an old build, which works really well in Onslaught. So, but I link those channels.
You don't need anything. Yeah, you don't need anything super new. Just hey, here's something where you can stay alive and do some good DPS.
Yeah.
Again, and to Respawn's point, some of them are good solo, some of them are good synergy with the team.
Now, with Mactix, I don't know if you know this, but this week he is now a full-time streamer, so he's probably going to start coming out with more stuff. Yeah, so you might want to really keep an eye on him. And talking about builds, right? I only ever use these guys as like a base to kind of like get my mods together, because my mod knowledge, my artifact, damn it, the fragments and aspects.
Yes.
All the nuances about those, I'm not 100% familiar on. So I'll be like, oh, okay, so that works like that, works like that. All right, cool. And I'll use that as a base. But I'll always come up with like my own armor mods and my own like weapons to use with it and things like that. Like, I mean, yeah, just it's a lot of times the build is good as a base, and then you customize it for what feels good for you.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of been doing.
Yeah, like I have the God roll. What do you call it? Recluse, right? My God roll. Sorry, with the 2 void perks that I want, that's my God roll, and I got that, and it works fine. Especially with my invis build, right? But it's still a recluse at the end of the day. So, in the 40s, the recluse isn't going to be doing a whole lot of damage, right? But, when you swap to something like the Graviton Lance, that does some work, even in the later levels. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you should see it as a base. Don't ever take these builds as gospel. Like, oh, he said you have to use this. This is the way you do it. No, because he might like that gun better than you. Like, there's a lot of these guys that are talking about using hand cannons, and I'm like, you're high if you think I'm taking a hand cannon or an onslaught. What is wrong with you? You're ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, guys, don't get hung up on it. It's not gospel. It's just a base. Customize it to fit you, but don't stress about it.
Yeah. If you don't happen to have the indebted kindness they say to run, grab something that'll work the same way, or something with those perks. Because half the time it's more what perk is it than this exact role. It's like you need this perk to proc this thing. Yeah. What thing am I trying to accomplish? Not necessarily do I need this gun. And yeah, I totally do the same thing. Going, I'm not going to figure out all the mods and all the things I have to do. And tell me what to do again. I was talking to Noble this week. This is 10 years into this game. I am not here to build craft. I'm not here to turn my brain on. I'm here to turn my brain off and shoot the aliens. That's what I'm here to do. I'm outsourcing those thinking to the robots and other human beings.
And the same with like the god rolls, because I was going to include some god rolls in the tips, tricks, and builds this week. And I was thinking, at the end of the day, it is personal preference. And from what I've been hearing, there is a lot of rolls on like midnight coups, mountain tops. And one podcast, I think it was DCP, were saying fantastic things about the mountaintop. Listen to the last word, and they were like, "Nah, mountaintop's not all that." And I'm like, the views are so contrast between the different weapons, and it does come down to personal preference of how you want to kind of use that weapon as well. Because the midnight coup is its own beast with its own recoil, its own like feel of how to use the gun, and a lot of people have been praising it, saying it's amazing. Now Noble, who used it back in year one, has been telling me it's kind of a shadow of its former self. But then you listen to somebody like Ascendant Nomad that goes, right, it's been changed to this archetype, but this is with these perks and this and that and this and that. It is amazing, this weapon. You just have to kind of get used to how it's now changed, because I think it was a 140 and now it's a 150, or 150 to 140, and vice versa, whatever.
Yeah, they changed. Yeah, he's been talking my ear off about it too, going, it may be good, but it's not like it used to be. It's not good. It's not good like it was. But no, like you make such a good point, because everyone has different playstyles and different god rolls or different things they look for. There's some things that are legitimately good. Yes, this will do more damage in the game. This is a good thing. And some people, like Respawn said, I'm never going to bring a hand cannon into this end game activity because I'm just never going to do it. It's not my playstyle. It's not what I feel comfortable with.
No.
So, this may be the god roll, but I'm going, if I can't worship to that, if I can't, worship that god, it doesn't help me.
Speaking of the mountaintop, the new mountaintop with the same role that he used to have is fat. So Micah found a role that I actually got as well, and it's really, really good. Believe it or not, recombination on the mountaintop, right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
So when you get
what
a
does
bunch of kills
recombination
with
do?
your elemental weapon, recombination is when you get kills with your elemental weapon, it powers up the next shot or couple of shots, however many stacks of recombination you have on the weapon with recombination, right? And it makes that extra shot way more powerful. And Micah had it first, and he, like, when a champ would come on, he'd pop it with a recombination mountaintop. 2/3 of its health was gone instantly. I'm like, what are you using? You know? I was like, is that a rocket launcher? He goes, no, dude, that's a mountaintop. I'm like, but no, recombination on a mountaintop does mad damage when you got it all buffed up. It's crazy. So just put it there, keep it there. Maybe have auto loading holster or something like that, whatever you want. But and spike grenades, he says spike grenades make it real good too. So recombination spike grenades, that combo, and then third perk, whatever the hell you want it to be, right? But when you get it jazzed up and you pop it on a champ, they go, what just happened to that guy? So recommend that. But I haven't found another good role of the mountaintop besides that one, you know. So I'm a little disappointed because it had so much potential, but its lack of damage and its lack of explosion radius just it's been neutered, man. And real bad. Like, ooh.
So it's like exactly how we all said it was gonna be when they brought it back. The super OP weapon didn't come back super OP. Yeah, well, there we go. Well, there's the bone we're gonna throw you. Super OP weapon doesn't come back in a super game breaking OP way. Film at 11. No one is surprised.
Yeah.
And some of us haven't even gotten those weapons yet because they need to finish their quests or need to, spend some quality time getting a certain kills and certain things and making those things unlock.
Peroty, brother. Yeah. I got all those done in an hour at Peroty.
And are sold. No,
because that's not Onslaught.
Shirochi isn't a real place. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the day they remove Shirochi from the game. So the cry of a trillion people who just want to farm in a room because I want to see the world burn. I just want to sit over here and watch the world burn. I just want to hear the collective cry come up from everybody who's been farming the same place for a decade. It feels like, and they're going.
Well, now people are doing the Whisper of the Worm quest. Because remember when you intentionally fall through the floor, all those thralls will just keep coming at you indefinitely.
Yeah, see, now you've got a new home. So yeah, see, she's dead. Long live Whisper of the Worm. Problem solved.
Well, Shirochi is better because you have the flag that you can get more special ammo. Like if you need a quest that requires special or heavy, you pop a flag. You can't do that at the Whisper of the Worm quest.
You don't need to convince me it's better. I'm just never going to go into a single room and farm my face off. I'd much rather play things. But we've had this conversation.
So, is there a player support report this week, Peroty?
There is, but I also wanted to remind you that this coming week is the Hammerhead and Forbearance. So week 3, April 23rd, the Hammerhead Adaptive Machine Gun and the Forbearance Waveframe Grenade Launcher will be available. And then the final week, April 30th, the Blast Furnace Aggressive Burst Pulse Rifle and the Luna's Howl Precision Hand Cannon will be available.
Look, you're just spoiling things for people because if they listen to This Week in Destiny, which I can drop in now, I'd have already told people about it. This is your weekly rundown of Season 23, Week 22, Season of the Wish. This week's Season to Light bring with it 2 more focusable weapons for the Brave Arsenal in the new game mode Onslaught. These are from Season 16, Val the Disciple Raid, the Arc Waveframe Grenade Launcher Forbearance, and from Season 5, Season of the Forge, the Void Adaptive Frame Machine Gun, the Hammerhead. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Taken Enemies and the Plague, Inamina. The Ascendant Challenge this week will be Ouroboros, which can be located over Niflheim's Rest Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian and the Wandering Nightmare, Jax, Claws of Ziva Wrath, are both located in the Hellmouth. Nightmare hunts Crota, Despair, Fogoth, Fear, and Ghoul, Rage. On Europa this week, Paraxis the Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Days of Eternity Legendary rounds are Hive, Fallen, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Wild Hunt armor set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 1, Arsenic Bite 4B, Blast Batu, Corsair's Wrath, Deafening Whisper, Dire Promise, Enigma's Draw, Escape Velocity, Giant 7 Rifle, Friction Fire, Royal Chase, True Prophecy, and Timeline's Vertex. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ritual, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Pact. The Lightfall weekly mission is First Contact, the Partition mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex incursion this week will be Liming Harbour. The Korota's End raid challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Korota, Son of Oryx, called All for One. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Cataclysm, called Illuminated Torment. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Daughters of Oryx, called Under Construction. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, The Caretaker, called Base Information. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Atheon, called Ensembler's Refrain. The Deep Stone Crypt challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Tanix, called The Core 4. And the Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Sanctified Mind, called 0 to 100. Your pinnacle raid will be the Last Wish over on the Dreaming City, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter, with the exotic fusion rifle 1000 Voices being farmable from the final boss. The pinnacle dungeon for this week will be the Duality over on the Derelict Leviathan on the Moon, and the exotic mission rotator will be Operation Ceres Shield, with the Revision 0 exotic pulse rifle being the main reward. The Season of the Ceres weapon set, and Ikelos weapon set, plus the Warmind's Avatar armor set, and the exotic mission, the Whisper, is available over in the Interlight node. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic gauntlets, Wednesday Concealed Void on Europa for exotic chests, Thursday Thrillerdome on Neptune for exotic helmets, Friday Gilded Precept on Neptune for exotic boots, Saturday Scavenger's Den on the EDZ for exotic gauntlets, Sunday Skydot 4 on the EDZ for exotic chests, and Monday the Quarry on the EDZ for exotic helmets. Also, this week's weapon rotation will start on set 4 on Tuesday's reset. Our 22nd featured Nightfall will see us face against Gorgath in the reprised Lake of Shadows over on the EDZ, with the loaded question being the featured weapon for the final time this season. The 6v6 control node will feature Control, Momentum Control in the Party Relentless playlist, Elimination in the 3v3 playlist, Checkmate Survival in Crucible Labs, and Trials of Osiris Dominion at the weekend, with the Cataract GL3 grenade launcher being the featured weapon for the final time this season. This week we'll also see bonus Crucible rewards available all week long. And as a reminder, we still have Riven's Wishes and Moments of Triumph 2023. Plus, you can collect a free pile of 700 Bright Dust from the Eververse store every week up until the final Shades release. And that's it for the 22nd week of Season of the Wish.
Well, now they already know. And now that they know, and now we've told them again in both accents. So now they're sure to know. If they don't know, there's really no helping them anymore. We've done all that we can do.
And I know that I've said it in This Week in Destiny, but I just want to reiterate that this will be the last week if you want a loaded question fusion rifle coming up in the Nightfalls this week, and a grenade launcher, the GL3, the Cataract, from Trials at the weekend. So next weekend, last weekend of Trials, next week, last week of loaded question.
How long is that? Has loaded question been in the game forever? It feels like it's been here forever. It's time for it to take a little nap.
Well, it's going to have a nap.
Yeah, there's someone out there screaming, going, "No, still no, you don't. You've had time. You're fine." So there is a player support report. The player supports have reported to us that there are final shape pre-order items. Players looking to claim the reward items from pre-ordering final shape need to visit the special deliveries kiosk in the tower to receive anything that has not yet been claimed. And if you're going, "What is that? I've never heard of that. What is this witchcraft you speak of?" It's if you're going to visit Hawthorne and the Bird, or our buddy the Drifter, or just checking on Ikor to see if she's even still there. And you basically pass the gunsmith as you're walking down that corridor. On the right hand side, right before you go over the little bridge, is a little kiosk, a little glimmer, very, very brightly at you anytime you get near, and there's things there for you.
Even when there aren't things there, it still shines at you.
Yep, so that's your special delivery kiosk. Just like if you've got any of the emblems or thing, any of the Twitch drops from Amazon, any of the Amazon Prime stuff, it all shows up there. And any of your pre-order bonuses, likely you've hit that kiosk before and then forgot it existed, and now you need to remember it exists because it's time to pick up more things. So yeah, those are waiting for you there. So once you've bought it, you can't say, no, I don't have it. You have to actually collect it from the kiosk, where it's being left for you in your lovely little P.O. box. And there are a couple of known issues because, again, how could there not be? Now let's see if the known issue that that I have encountered / been told about is on this list. So claiming the new light kit can override existing loadouts on your selected subclass. And I think as we talked about last week, I think it was Moira was saying it will actually overwrite the subclasses you have. So like you could be without a super or without a fragment. It would just like take those bits away. So still an issue. So maybe if you're not a new light player, don't pick up the new light kits because bad things could happen. And let's be honest, you have no need for them. There's nothing there for you. You have all of that stuff. You've got it 50 times over. So of the prison cells, one of the prison cells in the Warlord's Ruin dungeon has an additional door blocking solo completion. So if you're trying to solo complete Warlord's Ruin, you may get stuck at the prison doors because there's a new door that blocks your completion. So maybe hold off on trying to run that for the moment. The laser cutter's ship's wings and translucent parts of the Afterglow Sparrow disappear when equipping certain shaders. Those aren't important parts, it's fine.
No.
The gilded cage ornament for the Whisper of the Worm exotic is missing some details when viewed at specific angles. Again, not important details. Players who have text chat disabled via settings or age gating will have the text chat UI disappear entirely instead of displaying a disabled message. Good, nobody wants it. Take it away from me. Can't be trusted. And finally, players experiencing issues with no-game audio since the 7.3.6 update should attempt to set their in-game voice chat setting to off. So if you have no audio, turn off your game chat and maybe then you'll have audio. And just as a little reminder, our poor friends on PlayStation still don't have game chat. It's still broken. Bungie,
that's a lie. I played with somebody on PlayStation this week and it was working.
Donnie lied to me then. Donnie. He told me it was still broken.
Well, I spoke to Donnie this week.
Oh, well, he's feeding us different stories then. He's telling us different things. Maybe he just meant his game chat was broken.
Maybe.
Okay, well.
Maybe he's just Peroty-ist. You ever think about that?
Probably. You should be. So, yeah. So maybe it's working, maybe it's not working. I'll leave it to you PlayStation people to figure that out. And there's definitely a bug with the doors not opening to the boss room in Onslaught. So you might get there, you might say finish your 29th round completion, get to the door, shoot the things, and it just goes, no thank you. And you're like, no, but I've shot the 3 things to open the door. It goes, no, you haven't. I don't believe you.
Now, do you guys know about the boss door? If you have a Dragon's Breath, very specifically Dragon's Breath, nothing else, you can stand at the door, Dragon's Breath through the door, and do damage to the boss until you run out of rocket ammo. Then you rally to the flag, then you go in, and most of the boss's health is already missing. Just so you know.
There you go.
Good to know, because I was also going to say, I was talking, again, encountered this boss room bug this week, and Noble's got a theory, where this is not one of those, like, hey, this is absolutely a thing that happens. Just something, because I guess he's hit this issue a bunch and going, I don't know if this is the cause, but it's sort of this is always the case when we run into the issue. So if somebody in your fire team has the Sunshot, the Osteostriga, or the Thorn equipped, that's been his situation. Basically, anything that sort of like does like spreads damage or burst damage, like the Thorn with all of its scorching and Osteostriga and Thorn with their poison. He's like, I don't know what it is, but every single time it's been like someone has one of those 3 weapons when the door doesn't open. He's like, I don't know if it's related or not. It just sort of, maybe causation without, as my brain stopped working, I can't remember what the rest of that words. Yeah. And maybe sort of, is this the cause, or is it just, is it causation without correlation? It could just be, this just happens to be the case when this breaks. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it could be a cause or it could happen to be a thing.
All day, what was it, Saturday? One of these days, I used it on the Warlock all day. Never had an issue with the door not open. I didn't even know it was an issue, so you just told me.
Well, no, right. Like, no, like it's not every time, because like I'm running with the Sunshot now on the Warlock, so like it's not every single time where it breaks, but he's just saying every time it has broken, one of those 3 weapons has been involved. Again, no idea if it's a cause or if it's just, hey, the sky is blue when I'm playing Destiny, so therefore, the sky is always blue when I play Destiny. No, it don't work that way.
Maybe you have to have all 3 of them. It's like the reverse locking code. The door will open unless you have one person with each one of those guns, and then it will never open.
With your powers combined. Yeah, there is an issue with the door not opening that, sometimes it doesn't open, and then you're just stuck and have to leave and try again. And then we've got comics of the week with Shax, and we've got movies of the week. And that's it for the D2 community team. That is Le Twab.
Wow.
Now we do have a report roundup, but I'm not sure Respawn has good enough audio to provide the Respawn report roundup. So we'll have to do it in his stead. So basically, Destiny 2 team this week put out 2 tweet threads of updates. The first one being about special ammo and PvP. So we've seen plenty of feedback and data on the PvP special ammo economy as we've tried various options over the past couple of seasons, with the goal of designing a more robust ammo system for the future. We want to stress that finding the right system is an ongoing effort. Trials special ammo distribution will use crates again this weekend, but fewer overall crates will be available. And beginning next week, Trials will return to the special ammo meter system. So as a reminder, they were basically doing two trials of special ammo using the crates for weeks 1 and 2 of this. Basically, of this, I don't even know. I can't say expansion. Basically, these first 2 weeks after Into the Light, they were going to do some trials, special ammo changes with the crates to see how that played out, and not great is what it sounds like. So they're reducing the amount of ammo available this weekend, and basically going to say we'll keep working on refinements around the special ammo economy. In the meantime, keep playing and providing feedback, because that's why they're doing this. They want to hear what us, the player base, thinks about it. And from what little feedback I saw, it basically seemed like the crates were just plethora, just
everywhere.
Special ammo everywhere. Yeah, way too much special. And I'm gonna go and say probably if your team was already doing well, then you were able to collect all the crates and then continue to snowball the other team. Just gonna go on in here and assume that maybe that's what might have happened.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't play, but I heard feedback from a lot of guys, and they're like, "No, it's awful. There's more special now than there's like ever been." One guy said, and I was like, "That's nuts." He goes, "Yeah, like as soon as you spawn, you see like special everywhere. Like that sounds awful." I mean, I was happy that we were moving away from the special ammo. That way, people could stop pressing on shotguns and snipers. And Bungie's like, I mean, that pendulum swung the other way, and it went. It swung hard the other way. Oh, you don't have enough special? How about we give you all of the special forever? There you go. Just wow.
If you like more special, just wait till Prismatic is here, and then all of your ammo won't do you any good, because it's all going to be Prismatic, and you're dead at the end.
You can't shoot somebody if everybody's freezing you, stranding you, disabling you, blinding you all at once.
Your weapons are no good here. Yeah. And then the other piece they put out, which again, I thought I saw this, I saw it come out, and I saw Noble, post in the chat going, "Hey, I don't know if you've all seen this, about basically the Onslaught changes that all of us knew were coming, aka, hey, like Respawn was saying, the most efficient way is to farm the first 10 levels and then reset every single time." And them going, maybe we want to get you to play to the end of the Onslaught mode if you're not, because it's an Onslaught mode. So
that's right. Only quitters quit. Even if it's more efficient to do 10 levels, go to the end, you noobs. Show me that you can do it. Efficiency. I can't even spell efficiency.
Destiny 2 team says, "We've been following the feedback that there should be better incentives to stay in Onslaught for the full 50 waves, so teammates don't dip out after wave 10. We're adding 2 additional weapon rewards to Onslaught and buffing Trophy of Braves drops to help address this." I feel like I'm drowning in Trophies of Brave.
Yep.
All right. So, change 1. A chance of 1 additional weapon drop when you complete a wave. The drop chance will increase per wave until you get your weapon. The drop will be guaranteed on wave 50. So, do the full thing, you'll be guaranteed a weapon drop. Seems good. Seems nice. Change 2. A bonus weapon will also drop after you complete wave 50 in either difficulty. This change, along with the first, means that completing 50 waves will guarantee 2 additional weapons. Again, play all the way to the end, get better rewards, which seems reasonable. We'll also be increasing the number of trophies of Brave you receive from completing waves 40 and 50 of Onslaught, and waves 30, 40, and 50 on Legendary difficulty. So 40 and 50 on regular, 30, 40, and 50 more Brave. Our goal with these changes is to make sticking around in the later waves feel more rewarding. We've also seen people ask if Shaq's vendor reputation will be able to be reset. Lord Shaq's vendor in the Hall of Champions was not meant to be reset, and any text stating reset is available is a bug. We investigated adding resets, but it wasn't feasible at this time. So once you update Shaq's, it's done. And as a reminder, the Hall and that Shaq's is going away in final shape anyway, so you don't have months and months and forever to reset him. Get him set once and then farm your weapons, which you'll have a better chance to do. One of our goals with adding the additional weapon chance for weapons to drop when completing an Onslaught wave, as detailed above, is to increase the total rewards earned, as you can no longer earn Brave engrams from Shaq's once you hit your reputation cap. So we're targeting next week for these changes to go live in the game. Oh, and then they wrote about a typo they made in their list of things. Yeah, so it was basically an 8-tweet stream they put out detailing these changes. So
not in the TWAB, not where people would normally see it on Twitter.
Yeah, the Destiny 2 team Twitter account, which, why would we tell people, which I thought for sure they were going to put some note of this in the TWAB, because it's, a change that felt inevitable and that they're making this coming week. They just said, no sign of it in the TWAB anywhere.
Nope.
So now you know. So staying in longer gives you guaranteed drops, which, I mean, if you make it a 50 on anything, guarantee me something, make it worth my while. Like it doesn't have to be a shiny, and I'm glad they weren't saying, oh, we'll guarantee you a shiny drop. No, like it's meant to be a chase. It's meant to be rare. Like this, it's something that you're meant to farm for and meant to try to get, not just be handed to if you complete a thing. Now, maybe on a legendary 50 completion, then maybe we can talk about you get a free shiny from that. But if you just do 50 rounds,
you're not guaranteed that it's going to be an amazing shiny, just a guarantee that it's a shiny.
Yeah, it may be the worst shiny, which I'm pretty sure I have an Elsie's rifle that's it's there. It's got additional perks, all right, but that's all we can say about it. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun of the hunt. It's a horde mode. You go in with your friends, you have a good time, and you say, maybe I get a shiny out of it, maybe I don't. Again, everything about Onslaught, it's got menagerie vibes of you go in, you have a good time. There really is no fail condition because maybe you don't get to the end, but you've got a chance at weapons. That early ranked round 10 chance of weapons and shiny drops was a brilliant move. It meant anybody could go in and at least have a chance of doing this. Yeah, it made people farm it because there was no incentive to go further, but it didn't require going further, that was the beauty of Menagerie, is you could just go in with a match-made team, and if you didn't succeed at the encounters, it just took you longer, but you always succeeded as a group. There was no fail state. It wasn't, oh, I've been playing this for an hour and I got nothing from it. I've wasted my time and have nothing to show, which that's the beauty of Onslaught too. It's just you go in and you get things from it. That's it. There's no big time investment for nothing.
No, except if you die on wave 9 of whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you die on wave 9, it wasn't meant to be. Just bring the team down, because if you're already struggling at that point, it's not going to happen. Just no. It's like, come to the large men smashing you in the face. Just be done with it. There are a couple blueberry runs. I've
First of all, hold on. No.
ended early going no.
You can't get wiped on waves 1 and 2. Do not shame people like that. Sometimes the luck of the draw just isn't in your favor. Okay. I've been wiped on wave 2. Trust me.
Oh yeah, no. Well, no. I was just gonna say I have too. I got nuked early from any number of unfortunate things happening. Yeah, it's all luck of the draw. You put your coin in the slot machine, you pull the lever, and you see what Shax gives you. Sometimes it's giant tormentors wrecking your face. Sometimes it's people who want to buy tripwires and not decoys. So, just saying.
Yeah.
And can we talk about it putting you back into the wrong area, so you have to race across the map and then try to buy the decoy before your time runs out?
Well, we can talk about it. I don't know if Bungie are going to do anything about it.
I assume they're not, but Bungie, you know where the ADU is. Like, we're not taking heavy fire. You could put us down closer to where my ADU is, and then I could be there, and then I could better defend it.
No.
Yeah, but
It's
that's the
just
idea.
saying.
And I noticed it happens in the later rounds because I think they're intentionally trying to make it harder for you to get to there and to upgrade. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are hoarding their money until like waves 30, 40, and 50, and then just like maxing stuff out, right? Because
Yeah.
30, 40, and 50, you're going to spend a lot of time with that ADU. So that's where you want to guarantee that your stuff's going to matter. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's probably why. And they purposely put you far away. That way you got to run back over, and that way you'll have less of a chance.
Yeah. Well, I think we're at 17 at the moment, and they've been doing it to us for a couple of rounds now. So it's just one of those. I'm going intentional change or bug, and it could be either one. It could be they tweaked it to say, "Hey, let's make it a little more challenging," or they could just say, "Whoops, we don't know where to put you. We thought we did, but we're wrong."
Well, as soon as you gave us a Respawn's Report Roundup, I'll give you the Destiny 2 update 7.3.6.1.
Ooh.
Which, in Crucible, quitter penalties are now applied to the account and not the character. Don't think you're going to get away by changing character now. That's it. It's over and done for you.
They're on to you
quit.
now.
Yeah, you quit. You're a quitter, and they know you're a quitter. And your mum, she's a quitter as well.
Yep. Quitter. Serve your time. Sit in the corner. Think about what you've done.
Exactly. And then Iron Banner, they've increased the drop rate for the Tusk of the Boar and the Multimax CCX for players that have not already acquired them. So
I know there are a lot of grumpy gamers who are going, I've played this, I've turned in so many things, and I've not gotten one to drop.
So
good.
If you haven't got a Tusk of the Boar with deconstruction yet, now you've got a good chance of getting one. Onslaught, they fixed an issue where players who missed the portal back to the main combat area.
I tried to unmute while you were still on Iron Banner, right? Is that from engrams or is that from resets or what's that from? Because I was watching Jez and he reset Solid Head 4 times and didn't get a tusk. And then he turned in 1 engram and got one. So does the rate increase from turning in the engrams or just from his drop?
If you haven't already got it, no. If you the rate is increased. If you haven't already got it, you're going to get it, and then after that, it's kind of luck of the draw, I guess.
All right.
Okay, so if you haven't already got it, you'll get it increased to get it.
But then can't you go? Isn't that focusable? Like once you have it,
once you have it, once you have it, that's what I was doing. I was focusing it, because I know I cheated with my engram that I had before Iron Banner to get it, and then I was just able to go to Salad and go, "Can I focus this one? Thank you very much. I'll have that one." So yes, in Onslaught, they fixed an issue where players who miss the portal back to the main combat arena remain stuck for the duration of the purchase phase. Though you now won't be stuck. You'll just get back just in time not to spend your money. They fixed an issue where Onslaught was showing the Trials of Osiris symbol when selecting the activity, because that was really confusing some people, I guess. The exotic mission, the Whisper, they fixed an issue where only the player breaking the Oracle would get the rewards, and they fixed an issue where the player breaking the Oracle could get more rewards than intended. So the Cheese Forever video is now over and done with. Forget about Cheese. He let us down.
Did he let us down, or did they just fix it?
They fixed it, yeah.
Don't defame the good name of Cheese like that.
I won't, no. Cheese is amazing. We love a good cheese. Next is gameplay and investment. They fixed an issue with weapons where players could get unlimited uptime for the Cascade Point perk. Now fixed, because that was fun, logging in the other week. I think it was last week, wasn't it? And it said, something in the game has been disabled. And like, well, what is it then? Tell me what it is. Do I have to go to the website?
Go to this disabled disabled items page to find out more.
Yeah. Can't you put that in the game. Why can't you just tell me what it is? Anyway, so yes, and the Fireteam Finder, they fixed an issue where creating a Fireteam Finder listing for the Vanguard Ops players wouldn't launch a random activity from said playlist. And in general, they fixed an issue where interacting with Shaq's hologram in the Hall of Champions would play the wrong character animation. So there you go. That's your update.
Done, dusted, sorted.
Done, dusted, and I think that's it. I've told you about the videos that I've watched. I will link the YouTube pages of those guys that have done the builds, Mactix and Plunder the Booty, that I've been using this week. And I won't give you any god rolls because your god roll is your own god roll. You choose. You decide, because there's so many god rolls.
There are truly many god rolls. I think it's worth. I've got two short ones. One is literally a minute and a half from Hirana saying this is basically a primary MOA frame. just, basically going over how good Tusk of the Boar with the Deconstruct perk is. So
Yeah.
just, and as a little reminder, if you've got a pile you haven't looked at from last Iron Banner, or if you are going to go into Iron Banner, or this is my plea to you, saying go to Iron Banner, go get yourself some of these. They're great fun. Of just the infinite reloading, ammo from the ether, and now you can just shoot forever. Perfect for Onslaught. So go grab yourself one of those. And then because I've talked to a number of people this week who didn't know one or more of these 10 3/4 tips for Onslaught. TDT just saying 10 3/4 things you didn't know about Onslaught. Which there have been a number of those videos this week going, hey, here's the different things you didn't know. But he's got a pretty good wrap up of, hey, throw, just like you can throw the ADU batteries at anything and heal them. You can throw decoys at turrets at the bases. You can throw them at enemies and heal them.
Yeah.
So be careful where you're throwing them. Just little tidbits like that. Yeah. Like nothing. If you've been playing Onslaught, someone's probably told you all of these. Like there was nothing that was groundbreaking. Like, oh my god, I had no idea. But again, one, people have told me these from playing, and two, they're just things that have been fairly obvious. Just here's how the mechanic works. But yeah, just go buy decoys, maybe a turret or two, and just ignore tripwires. Nobody wants them. Nobody needs them.
No, nobody cares for them.
No. And we've told you what builds you should be running at this point. We'll give you MacTix and Pun of the Booties channels. Go there and go get their builds because they're amazing.
Respawn, have you got anything else to say to your fans?
But no, the other thing I wanted to mention is that same video, the TDT video, like about throwing them at the ADU. All you need is line of sight, right? He says if you're taking time to actually aim, you're wasting your time. As long as you have line of sight, more than likely you'll hit it. As long as there's not an enemy in your way, in which case you'll just kill them. So yeah.
An enemy or friend or whichever.
Yeah, whatever. All right, I'm on the plane now, so I'm logging off. Let everybody deuces, and I see y'all when I see y'all.
We'll see you next week.
Safe travels. Happy flight. Well, I think this is where I think we've come to the end of our show. I don't think there's anything more we can tell people. Respawn. God, Nitedemon. Whichever one you are. Are you the shouty Floridian, or are you the proper British gentleman? I get you two confused. You sound very similar to me sometimes. It's very hard to tell you two apart.
Well, it may be the end of the show, but it's definitely not the end of Onslaught. We need more Onslaught. We need to play more Onslaught. Nope. We need to get off this podcast and play some Onslaught. We need to throw more grenades. We need to make Shax happy. We need to farm weapons. We need to collect shinies. So I need desperately to tell you, who you cannot threaten with a good time? Our lovely patrons. We have lovely patrons who have said, listen, we don't know what this is that you do here, but we appreciate that you do it every single week. You give us all the information. We say, we could go listen to Ass Across, and he could give us all the information in 20 minutes, and he could yell meta at us. But we don't do that. We give you all the information in depth. We give you every last little tidbit and more. And you know who appreciates that? Our lovely patrons, because they've gone to patreon.com/TTH saying, we appreciate you. And here is our financial ways to show you we appreciate you. And we have a new patron this week. Zep Orbit. You've not been able to threaten that man with a good time since like the 1400s. He's been around forever. Can't be threatened. You know who also can't be threatened? Calvin Burns. Calvin Burns cannot be threatened with a good time. We have tried. You know how many times I've tried to threaten that man with a good time? Can't be done. Calvin Burns cannot be threatened with a good time. Just like Zep Orbit, absolutely cannot be threatened. They're unthreatenable. We've tried. We've tried many things. Absolutely cannot be done. It's simply not possible. You know who our auto dance troupe is? Our amazing T-Rex King, the Scarlet KM, Mellow Melly, and Dedicated M64 and Renat Calant. They are phenomenal dancers. And you know why they're dancing? Because they're playing Onslaught. They're loving Onslaught. They're in the Onslaught, throwing grenades, throwing batteries, making Shax happy. You know who's also throwing grenades? You know who Shax loves? Carver 2782, Golden God 1562. We Noble, Basically Salt, Fire Squad 1688, and Coderson 105. They love throwing grenades. Shax says throw grenades. They're like, don't need to tell me. On it. Done. Dusted. Tossed. And finally, Deacon, working on that day one raid team, which, I mean, there's a day one raid coming. Deacon's hard at work down in the trenches with Dimwee, Gravy Jeff, and Pee Pee Pipe, owning them into the most incredible raid team you've ever seen in your life. We just want to say thank you to all of our wonderful patrons.
Thank you, Calvin, for joining us. Thank you, everyone who's been here from the start, because most of these fine folks have been here from the beginning. They were like, we love you, we appreciate you, and we appreciate your appreciation. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to be a lovely patron, patreon.com/TTAH. You can join these lovely human beings. And now finally, we got to get back to the Onslaught. There are people coming. I've got decoys to upgrade. I've got sweeper bots and shaxes to defend. So I've got to say, from Nitedemon
and me,
from Airport Respawn,
and you,
and from Peroty.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon, your hunter in the airport is no one respawn to real life. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Basically, just type 2 Titans and a Hunter into a chat box. You'll find, or into a search box. You'll find us. Type into a chat box too. Tell the AIs about us. Tell them about us. We're coming. We're going to take everything over. It'll be fine. If you've got emails for the show, 2TitansandAHunter@hotmail.com. You can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. If you're sitting here going, didn't you talk about that build, or what was that video you talked about, or didn't you say you were linked to something? 2TitansandAHunter.com. Every show note from every episode is there. So even if it wasn't this week, if it was like, hey, I'm a couple weeks behind, and I heard you talk about this thing, all the show notes are there. All the good links are there. You can go to 2TitansandAHunter.com and find everything you want to find.
Yeah, and I've updated it. So if you go to 2TitansandAHunter.com, you can now click along the top to go to a special Google document that will give you all the old show notes and all the old builds for every kind of expansion that we've still got going live in the game. So if you need a guide to do one of like the Vox Obscuras or the Passage mission or a God Roll guide that, you know, is still relevant now, it is in this Google document that I've kind of kept all the notes for all the expansions and all the things that we still got going in the game. The podcast every week will now have just the builds, the guides, the tips, the tricks that we kind of talk about each week, and the Bungie links each week. And then the Google document I will update each week if it needs to be relevantly updated for whatever's still going in the game. So, yeah.
So if I'm looking for the build video you talked about this week, 2TitansandHunter.com, or just look at my lovely podcast player and it's going to tell me. If I'm looking for, say, the Witch Queen campaign legendary clears, Google Doc, top of the page.
Yeah.
2TitansandHunter.com. All the information you could ever want and more. That is excellent. See, we are just here to help the people out, giving the people all the good information. And this is where I tell you that eventually, once the poor hunter is finished with his travels, he will be back to streaming again, twitch.tv/no-one-responds in real life. He also streams in the evening his various Destiny hijinks. So, go there, give him a follow, hit the bell, then you'll know what's happening. And I think I saw three days in a row this week. Twitch.tv/2TitansandHunter. This madman was streaming 3 days this week in Onslaught, trying out builds, helping the good people, getting clears, murdering things, and collecting shiny weapons.
I would say helping people. I was...
No, you were helping people. Mentally, physically, spiritually, falling asleep to your sultry voice. One or the other. And
we had dog cam. By popular demand, dog cam is now incorporated into the stream on the Two Titans. If I'm streaming anyway, you get dog cam.
So the people who've been demanding a respawn dog cam did not get what they wanted, but they have British dog cam.
Yeah, and you get 2 dogs to choose from as well. So, you get to choose from. You get 2 dogs to see.
We put the cam, the dogs choose which dog is available that day.
But they choose where to sit. Normally they sit next to me on the sofa, but if they don't, I have to kind of move the camera sideways or swap seats so that they, And then sometimes one of them get up and knock over the camera. It's like, because I'm doing it through my phone rather than through the laptop, so I can move it around.
It's all part of the fun.
Yeah.
Dogs, Destiny, done, dusted. Right? Yeah. And I mean, you know where to find us at this point. If you've listened this long, if you've made it this far, you know where to find us. Give us a follow. We'll be back next week with all the Destiny information. Maybe there'll be lots. Maybe there'll be some. Maybe it'll just be nothing but Iron Banner speculation and Onslaught, which nothing wrong with that either. Who doesn't love Onslaught? Nitedemon, any other closing thoughts besides, oh no, this man's about to nuke our faces?
No. That's it. Just more Onslaught. Until we get Pantheon. And then it's Pantheon. Yeah. And then more Onslaught.
And then FOMO of Pantheon.
Yeah.
So happy Onslaughting Guardians. Happy Pantheoning once we, figure out what exactly that is. And may your shiny hunting go well. Until next week, everyone.
Deuces.
Bye.
Destiny 2 podcast.